This other question here on what specific cleaning protocols are required in construction sites that differ from other types of cleaning. So, Greg, what you tell me, what's different between construction cleaning work and regular cleaning?
Well, construction cleaning work is usually dirty.
Very.
You know, you might, and there's a couple. You can have a rough clean where you're picking up boxes and trash and who knows what. And then you're going to have to come back in and do the detail clean where everything has to be perfect, ready to go, do the windows and all that kind of stuff. So really, you need to know the difference between those, and you need to know what to bring. You're not bringing, I'm going to bring, a couple towels and a spray bottle, and we're going to be good to go. It's like, no, you may be filthy dirty. You may walk into someone do a TI and the toilet looks like it hasn't been cleaned in 10 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a different animal. Or you may be walking into, like Matt was saying, apartment buildings that are completely brand new, and you're like, this is pretty simple. I've got to pick up everything that's messed up, make sure it looks good, make sure there's zero dust on any surface, and you're doing walls and ceilings and, a lot of wipe down.
I would say that what I've always trained on construction cleaning is that you're cleaning a surface, 2 to 3 times, right? So really 3 times. You're doing, because there might be a lot of construction dust. So drywall dust, they might have ground, or grinding down the floor. And so you have all this concrete dust. So you got to, wipe it with like something that's going to remove the dust. And that could be like an easy trap dusting system, or that can be, something similar to that. And then we're cleaning it with like a towel and bucket type of like wiping down surfaces. And then we're polishing it, or we're doing the final.
Yeah.
And so when you're bidding a job like this, like you don't clean it the same way you clean a building.
No, you can't just rush through it.
It takes a long time, which is why 200 square feet an hour is about all you can get out of somebody, because it's a lot of detail, a lot of work. And what I want to mention is that you want to have these, because you mentioned rough cleaning. You want to have this terminology in your pocket when you're talking to a contractor.
They're gonna.
You want to, there's phases. Rough cleaning, which is what Greg is talking about, like sweeping up like piles of construction debris, removing construction debris, doing basic like just sweeping.
Yeah.
So rough. Final is after all the fixtures, all the flooring surfaces are in and everything else. That's that 3-step cleaning process.
Yes.
And then you have punch. So a punch list would be that the architect and the construction manager come through
and say all this has to be fixed. Then they send the trades in, and then the trades make a huge mess. Then they call you in again and say, "Can you clean it up again?"
There's
a second final.
There's also a chance that some of that punch list stuff might be cleaning.
Yep.
Right. Now, if you're doing it right, which is what we would recommend, is that when you finish a room, you're putting a piece of paper on the door with your logo on it saying room completed. And then you go to that supervisor on site and say, hey,
every day,
can you clear this room? They come in, they check it, they sign off. Right. And then you go to the next room and you do the same thing. That way, when you get the punch list, that you're not ending up with this issue of
like, we already cleaned
that room. And they're like, oh no, you didn't clean it. It wasn't right. So now you have to re-clean it and you're not getting money, because the last bit of it is time and materials.
Yep.
Right. And T&M it's going to be very, very lucrative.
You can make some money on T&M.
So I think where a lot of people in our trade making a mistake is in that area is
they just go back and clean it.
They just go back and clean. Go back and clean. Go back and clean. Go back and clean. Some contracts are going to ask for you to have 2 or 3 cleans. And so be careful when you're bidding jobs. If they hand you a specification with a scope, look at the spec. The spec is going to say final cleaning only, but it could say final punch and trade clean. It could be 3 move-ons. It could be a lot of things. And I've made that mistake here where we didn't read the fine print, and we ended up having to go back and do 2 or 3 cleans because it was in some area of that scope of work that was essentially buried, and it cost us over $100,000 in labor. So I never do that again. Yet another reason why I don't like doing prevailing wage.